Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Steelers Week 5 review, discussing the things that went on in Week 5 and our matchup versus the Cowboys, which we lost again, lost back-to-back games. And I think we lost the past two matchups versus the Cowboys in Pittsburgh, but we beaten them the past two times in Dallas, which is crazy, like vice versa. But we're gonna dive into some of that, talking about the things that went on in the game, starting off first, of course, with the statistics. The stats that happened in the game, as you see, of course, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott was 29 for 42, 352 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Dottle had 20 carries, 87 yards. We also seen, of course, Jalen Tolbert with 7 for 87, a touchdown, 62 and 5 catches for CeeDee Lamb. Ferguson had 6 for 70, and they went out there and they got a few sacks, had a few sacks here and there, where they had a half sack, and then Joseph with a sack as well, like that. So maybe a few plays here and there for their team. And you look at the Steelers stats and Steelers numbers. Justin Fields, 15 for 27, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. You look at Kyle Allen. He came in there and threw. I think at first it was the longest play before Najee had that big screen pass. At first it was the longest play of the game. And Kyle Allen went out there and threw a dot at that. So he played a few snaps. And we see Najee Harris, only 14 carries, 42 yards. The Steelers didn't really emphasize the run in this game. You would think they would have, but they barely. They used Najee in the first half a little bit, and then the second half they started using a little bit more, but they really didn't focus solely on that. So he only had 14 carries for 42 yards. And then look at Justin Fields. He had 6 carries for 27 yards, a few design runs. Champlin, 4 for 14, Ward, 2 for 9. Najee also was the leading receiver. Well, Najee Harris the leading receiver, that means something wrong. Your running back should never be a leading receiver unless it's some type of outlier. They have some type of big run or something like that happened. But Najee Harris had 2 catches for 35 yards. Then the next receiver had 3 for 26, which was Van Jefferson. Pickens had 3 for 26 as well. Connor Hayward had 2 for 23, a touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 3 for 22, and a touchdown. Our team just didn't really got to sync a little bit, and the receiving core is still a problem. When we're coming to the season, people kept asking, when we do the videos, it was like, what's the main concern coming into this year? I kept saying, of course, health is one thing, because I saw like the past few years, we suffered some major injuries, like some health injuries that kind of hurt us a lot when we needed our players to be out there. I said also the receiving core. I said I do not trust the receiving core fully, because I just need to see it. Like, I know George Pickens, what he's going to do. I think he's a good player. He's not elite yet, but he's a good player. So I know he's going to do most of the time. But the other guys, I have no idea what Van Jefferson going to do, what Calvin Austin's going to do. Like Calvin Austin had that one big game against the Chargers, and then back-to-back games, he haven't done nothing. Just like last year, he had the big game against the Raiders, and then the rest of the season, what he do? He was MIA. Like, we're on the world as Carmen Sandiego. We're on the world as Calvin Austin. He's MIA. He only had one good game a year. And then you look at Van Jefferson. He had the big-time season with the Rams a few years back. But the Falcons and the Rams last year, we played with them a little bit. He didn't play too well. Then now, during this season, he hadn't really done a lot like that. He barely had any yards like that. So it's like the receiving core is just not that good. It's like shot up like that. George Pickens is a good player. Pat Freiermuth, but then after that, it's like, okay, I don't know. And then Darnell Washington, I think he can have potential to be good, but they don't really utilize him as much. But we really ain't got that much to to use receiving room. Then you look at Najee, have more yards than Van Jefferson, and those guys like that have more yards than them. And it's just looking like just out of whack. We're still missing Jalen Warren, who's another explosive player we can have as well. With Patterson as well. And Roman Wilson still haven't appeared as well. He hit the ankle injury. They show a little bit of him practicing, but he looks a little stiff. And still haven't activated them yet, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. We also seen, of course, TJ Watt with sack and a half. Also seen, of course, Dante Jackson get an interception, Joey Porter Jr. get an interception. We've seen Herbig with the half sack as well. We also seen, I thought Cam Hayward had a sack, but I guess that didn't count as a sack. I guess he got beyond the line of scrimmage. But we've seen, of course, defense do their thing, getting 3 turnovers, and the special teams blocking the field goal, but the offense just can't go out there and score 17 points with that. But yeah, this is basically the stats for the Steelers in their matchup with the Cowboys. Now let's go ahead and dive into, of course, some of the the positive plays and the negative plays of this game, and some things we should be able to do to try to adjust and get our team back on track after the back-to-back losses. Okay, let's discuss some of the positives and negatives of this past game. The positive, of course, the defense got back on track. After that Colts thing they had where they was going out there and got beat down by the Colts, and the Colts just punched them in the mouth and put those 2 touchdowns in the first then quarter and was dominating the Steelers in that Week 4 matchup. I think the defense bounced back. It showed that game right there was just a fluke. They bounced back in this game against the Cowboys, and they did a good job overall like that, holding the Cowboys. The Cowboys had like 400 plus yards of offense, but they only had 2 touchdowns. 400 plus yards of offense, but only 2 touchdowns, 20 points. And the Steelers did a good job in the red zone. The interception by Dante Jackson. And also see Joey Porter Jr. get an interception down the field when Dak Prescott went for a deep shot, and also a strip sack by TJ Watt. So they did a good job in just maintaining and keeping the Cowboys down, holding them to like 20 plus points. The only bad thing, which leads me to one of the negatives, is the offense did not capitalize on all that. I see some people on Twitter or X, what you want to call that, it don't really matter, but I see some people on there talking and discussing and saying that the defense is at fault. I was like, I really don't see how the defense is at fault in this game. If I give you 3 turnovers, block a field goal, hold the team to like 13 points majority of the game, and you just can't go out there, you can go out there and capitalize, you can go out there and win, then that's just on the offense like that. You get 3 of those turnovers. They only score it on 1 of those turnover mistakes like that. So you get 3 turnovers, you get a block field goal. The defense going out there and second half they lock some stuff up, start clamping up even more, and you just can only get 17 points. That's how you lose. It kind of reminds me of we didn't have as many turnovers as one game we had. Remember that game we played against the Bengals? That wasn't last year, but it was the year before last. And remember, that's the game when Mr. Trubisky was a quarterback, and the Steelers had 5 turnovers, but only had, they barely won. They had like 20 points or something like that. 20 points, they won by field goal or something like that. That right there is just the lackluster offense right there. The receivers can't get open. Including George Pickens yesterday, he had the little tape on his face that said, "I'm always effing open," but he didn't get open once and make no plays too often. He had one play where he ran the 21-yard play that he had. Besides that, he didn't really do anything too much. He was basically shut down. Only had 26 yards. Had a few drops too. People said the ball was too high. You get that's separate the great from the regular players. Sometimes the ball might not be the best ball, but if you get both hands on it, you gotta come down with it. Like if you proclaim to be a great player, you get hands on it, but come down with it. I never heard somebody, like Tom Brady threw a ball to Rob Gronkowski. Might have been high sometimes, but what happened? Gronkowski came down with it. When you see Tony Gonzalez get the ball thrown to him, he come down with it. Jerry Rice, all the greats, Michael Irvin, the playmaker, all the different great, and even in the Steelers, Hines Ward, Antonio Brown. Sometimes the ball wasn't the best ball. We see some plays with Big Ben just chunk it down the field, and Antonio Brown had to readjust to get stuff and make a play. But what he do, he come down and make a play. That would separate the regular players from the good players from the elite level players, the best of the best. Like that. So if you claim to be the best of the best, everything can be perfect. You ain't gonna get a beautiful ball every single time thrown to you. So sometimes it might be a little high, it might be a little low. But if you get 2 hands on it, you got to come down with it. I never heard Larry Fitzgerald make an excuse ever. He's probably one of the receivers I would embody. If I was a coach, I would embody every receiver to work like Larry. Like Larry Fitzgerald was one of the best. Like that, the way he carried himself, his demeanor, and the way he played on the field as well. But he never complained about that. The ball was thrown to him. It wasn't the best ball. Cause he played with all type of quarterbacks. So the ball was thrown to him, wasn't the best ball. He still went out there and produced. Still went out there and made plays. So George Pickens, if you want to be proclaimed the best, I know every ball that might be thrown. Now sometimes it can be quarterback fault. Of course, they throw the ball way over you, or you can't make a play on it. But if they give you opportunity to come down with the 2 hands, you get chances, 50-50 ball opportunities, and you get 2 hands on it, you gotta come down with it. You gotta make that play. But another thing I want to talk about as a positive, I like what I saw from, of course, Herbig this game. Last game I think kind of was an outlier, like a fluke game a little bit. But I did like what I see from the defense and Herbig being on the other side. He brought a lot of pressure on that side. Going against Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma, he brought a lot of pressure on that side. And know, they mostly focused on TJ Watt. It was double teaming and doing different things. Sometimes some plays they had 3 different guys was hitting TJ Watt before he got out there. But to see Herbig be like that threat on that side too, like, oh shoot, this guy right here is coming in fast too as well. It brought a lot of pressure, and that's why I thought the offense would be able to capitalize on that, because the defense was going out there and bringing so much pressure and just getting to Dak Prescott a lot. And Dak Prescott was, besides that game-winning touchdown he really didn't have a good game. If that game-winning touchdown never happened, it would have been some crazy storyline on tomorrow. You know, about Dak Prescott, they've been talking about some crazy stuff, like Dak is not good, Dak is this. They probably gonna still say the same thing, but Dak Prescott getting that win helped him out a lot and saving him a headache the rest of this week. But the Steelers, they had the game and they beat themselves. What Coach Tomlin said, if we stop beating our own behinds, we can beat theirs. That is true, like that. But they didn't adjust fully second half. They scored some touchdowns, but they didn't adjust fully to capitalize on every turnover that was necessary. So we have to see what the Steelers do. I think the main adjustments is definitely the offense, of course, but the receiver room. The receiver room is the main adjustment. You got to make a move. I don't care if it's trading for Devontae Adams or just bring somebody else in. We need a veteran presence, some other people that can get open and make plays for you. There's some guys in free agency. I think Hunter Renfrow is still a free agent, right? If I'm not mistaken. He's a good route runner. I don't know how he look. I don't know if he's healthy or not. I don't know, but I think he's a free agent. Let me make sure before I say that on here. But we need to bring somebody in. We need to bring a different individual in or something. Yeah, Hunter Renfrow is still a free agent. Still available. He's like teams. You know, he's 28 years old. He had a 100 catch season before, 1,000-yard season before. Maybe look into that. I know Michael Thomas. People keep saying, well, of course, his injury that he had and stuff as well was bad. But hey, maybe look into that as well. See where it can go. Just do something, because the team just need a receiver, another receiver can get open. They ain't gotta be no 1,000-yard receiver. That'd be great if they are, of course, but like just get open, like in a sense of being consistent when we need more opportunities out there. Because Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, I couldn't. On Wilson, I hope to see him play. I want to see how he looks if he does play, but I don't know if you're gonna get in like that this year or not. We have to wait and see, unless it's after the bye week or something. But the Steelers was to trade for Devontae Adams, that'd be good. But I think it'd be more likely for the Steelers to be able to get DeAndre Hopkins. I think if DeAndre Hopkins come available, I think it'd be easier to get him. DeAndre Hopkins is 32 years old. He still have enough juice in the tank to play. I think it'd be better to get him, add him to the roster, because the contract, and plus it'd be cheaper to bring him in, and also I think it'll work out well too. A consistent veteran to be able to do some stuff and make plays. So if he was available, I'll look at him. I'll look at Christian Kirk. I don't know if the Jaguars are looking just to blow it up and say, you know what, we done. We're gonna blow it up right there. We're gonna go ahead and start over or something. I'll look at Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is still very productive. You know, with the Jaguars, he had 1,108 yards, one of his best years of his career, 84 catches, 8 touchdowns. And then the year after, he had 787, 3 touchdowns. So far this year, he has 257 and a touchdown. His last game, he put up 4 catches, 88 yards. But if Christian Kirk was available, I'll bring him in too. He has the speed, make some plays on the field for you, and it just opened up so much more. So DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, of course, Devontae Adams would be one of the best gets you can get, but that would cost a lot more. But we just have to see what the Steelers do and what Omar Khan does to bring us back to being at least productive offense. Like I mentioned in the offseason, I said the way, like last year we only averaged like 16 points per game. We're averaging 18.4 points a game so far right now. I said if the Steelers can go out there and average 21 to 23 points, they probably can go out there. They did that last year. Probably could have won about 13 games. This year, if you do that too as well, with this defense, where the defense is playing, you probably can win about 13 games like that. But I don't think they're able to do that. So I had us around 11-6. I feel like we'd be 11-6ish around that. It's like I mentioned, I said we're gonna win some games, but we're gonna lose some games we should have won. Like this Cowboys game is a game we should have won. We lost that game that we should have won. And then gonna be some other games in the future, because I know that not gonna get fixed overnight. There'll be other games in the future that we're gonna lose that we should have won. But I think we have enough wins to make the playoffs, of course, 11-6, and maybe enough wins to win the division. But I just want to see us be more productive offensively like that. But this is all I have for today's video, today's content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.